Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? Today we are coaching Inflict. He's a master Kai'Sa player. And okay, so things started here. So let's see what do we do here. Alright, so we're gonna look only at your side here.
Yeah.
So we have biscuits. I think Cosmic Insight is a bit weird. So item haste does almost nothing on Kai'Sa. I think you shouldn't even go Cosmic Insight. So you have like your flash and barrier a bit faster up. Does
Yeah,
that?
that's usually why I take it.
Because usually I see magical footwear or triple tonic. Triple tonic also gives you value on your all-ins, you know, at level 6. Because that potion almost gives you 20 AD. That's 2 long swords. Which, you know, does matter a lot on Kai'Sa. Because you have some decent AD ratios, you know. So for all-in purposes, you know, you have some attack speed from your E, and that's what you like emphasize, you know. I don't think so. It's that good Cosmic Insight, honestly, over
Okay.
because item haste does nothing, because you only go for that item that the dust can down, but it reduces it by a very minimal amount. That doesn't matter, because your abilities anyways have more cooldown, so it doesn't give any practical value. Zonye sometimes, but even then it's not really that big of a deal, you know. So I feel like triple tonic more aggressively.
Yeah.
If anything, I kind of like that a bit more. So like scaling HP, attack speed, attack damage. So okay, laning phase started. So they have bush control. But yeah, in here, I think it's a bit weird that Bard is not positioned around this area, because he could look for a Q, you know. I think his positioning is a bit weird. So we got to also like respect that sort of, if it makes sense. But I think you guys should then walk up earlier, honestly. Like, if it's not needed, it would be better if you don't even queue the minions and you just slowly push. And you could also theoretically keep your queue for trades if it makes sense, because these guys are not heavily outranging us, if it makes sense, you know?
Do you think they win 1v1? Like, or 2v2, sorry?
So Nami
Like
is here.
early?
So, yeah, Nami
Yeah.
is here. Obviously, Nami is here. But you're not facing something like Valkos or Serat or whatnot or poking champs, you know? So I'm thinking, like, if you can, you should then, like, walk up a bit faster, if it makes sense. And then we can also look for, like, slowly pushing the wave. And I think Bart kind of like has to position here as well, so you can get like a nice electrocute procs. That would be also great. I think your positionings are a bit weird here, because them having, like, they have bush control now, so it's easier for them to weave in basic attacks and, you know, walk away. So I think it's kind of weird that we just gave that up so quickly, but okay. We're still respecting Nami's W, so we play. I don't know why do you run away. Nami's out of position, and we can get a nice.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's a bit weird. Like in here you don't have Q up. Oh, I guess that's a bit of a problem, but she doesn't have her passive. So her passive, I know it's strong for all-ins, but it's not gonna, like, basically, you know what's gonna happen? You basic attack once, she basic attacks, Bart Qs her, procs electrocute, we walk back, you know, if it makes sense. But we have also like 2 minions that kind of like help us a little bit to trade. Because now Bart got freely traded into, that's how I feel like, you know, because he got a bit insecure. Okay. He got insecure about basic attack and queuing, so we couldn't even get that off, you know, it was a bit of a problem. Because Nami was out of position, so basically this guy, wait, let me turn on my epic pen. You know how the people call it? She got like kind of like triangulated here, you know, in trades.
Yeah. I know the theory of it.
Oh shit. Okay. I think it's not like on borderless, this thing. Yeah, like this, so disappears the epic pen. But okay, we can also see there is a nice sword on the raptor camp, so this will give us some info where Mundo is. Oh yeah, what happened here? I think we didn't track the minions, the XP, you know.
Yeah, no, I think I forgot they were gonna do that too.
Yeah, so Bard...
They just didn't respect the W damage.
Yeah, so Bard wasted his Q.
Yeah.
So they got kinda like... Yeah, so you guys were 1 minion off.
I didn't expect the W damage.
Yeah, you know what was the scary part? So, you know what you have to specifically track here? You see 3 minions alive, 3 minions alive, right? Now, our minion gonna die in 1 basic, this is half HP, you know? So even if we brute force walk up, they still gonna trade into us, you know? So we are at a position where we didn't contest the wave properly, So what we have to do, back off completely. You're gonna give up 1 CS at least, try to soak the XP if it's possible, but again, now we're in a shitty spot, so Bard actually got level 2, I think he picked up one of his passive stacks.
Yeah, he's trying to say that.
So like in here we get a little bit chunk though. Oh yeah, they trade pretty hard, huh? Because you know what's scary about Cassie? So normally your early levels are not the strongest because obviously minions are covering your Q and your W.
Yeah.
And you kind of like want to spare HP till at least level 3 or 6, depends on your matchup. And so early on your goal against poking champs, they have bits of pokes, is just to CS up and maintain your HP bar. And if you maintain your HP bar, you will not be forced to recall to give up a wave or something. And when we are in position to all in, because well, mainly we can all in, with the exceptions of now and then hitting a W, but mainly we emphasize in all inning. That's where we will shine, you know.
Yeah.
So I think even if you give up 1 minion to spare half of your HP, that's, you know, fine. So that's what you kind of like should aim to do. So if you can, you should kind of like avoid this choking area. So you don't really want to walk here in general, because you could blast in the cannon from this angle, and Bard is also in a better position to trade here, because if you walk here, it's difficult to sidestep because you're sandwiched in between the wall and the tower. So I often recommend ADC players do not do this if you can, if it's unnecessary, because it's easier for Nami to Q, it's easier for her to Q. So this is like a general thing, you kind of like want to avoid this area.
Alright.
Oh, she does some damage. Oh, yeah. Because like our spacing fall off a little bit as well. As you can see, she so like, wait, she has 575. I thought she has only 550. Wait, that's crazy, no? That's crazy. Actually, she's heavy.
More than me.
She's actually heavily outranging you. I thought it's like 25 only. It's apparently way more than I thought. Okay. That's crazy high. Yeah, we have to play it out very safely, you know. So we recall for now, and we give up. We don't even give up this scuttle. So we give up probably like this. We'll see if we have to give this blue. Fight occurs. We are recalling, and so we are walking kind of like back to lane. Okay. That's what I usually like tell Fizz players as well, because you play a range champion, but even melee champs, it's kind of like you want to spare your HP till level 3, 6, depends on your matchup, then look for something. So you give up CS basically. Or bluff last hits, bait out an ability, you know, if you want to do that. But yeah. Now, what about this fight? So we walked away to last hit minions and we were a bit scared here, right? So, look. Bard is hugging the bush. And he wants to also sort of either hold the wave, or, you know, B scenario, just try to like harass them if they are trying to recall, you know. Now, what's kind of like a cool trick you can do, when you're trying to hold the wave, you could walk in and out of the bush, and you're gonna slowly re-trigger the wave, in the way that you minimize the damage you take to your HP bar, while also like forcing them to stay, if it makes sense.
No, I know what you mean.
So guy has like 1 point in his E, but at 4 he gonna put 2 points. I kinda don't like that he dropped the wave here, but okay. So you went back for the cannon. I think you walked way too far up for the cannon though, honestly. Right? Like, I think a little bit too deep. Because this Bard is looking for something, either a Q into Yunara, because the wall angle. Because now he's triangulated, because this... Again, this guy plays Electro, you know, he does actually have way more damage than you think, because if I expand this, Electro 100 damage at level 4, Cheap Shot, True Damage 16, Scorch 24, so I know Bard doesn't look like it's a champion that does a lot of damage, but he has enough amount of burst to the point where you know how your passive works, so this does actually like more damage based on missing health, you know, which is really good if they are low HP. So in here, I would really like you if you committed, Like if he stepped up actually. And you can see that this could be a much nicer, you know, all-in, because they were surprised,
Yeah,
I
you're
think,
right.
by Bard's damage. I think they were as surprised as you were about the Bard's
Yeah.
damage, you know? Because I think if Bard doesn't goes for aggressive runes, maybe he goes Guardian or some shit, then I would say, yeah, like, it's probably less likely we can get that done, you know? But I would definitely look to Force. But you have Barrier and Flash and EF heal. Actually, I don't know why do you play so safely here. So like Mundo is very dog shit at ganking as well. Like it's not like a Zac, he has only like a Q slow, you know. So even if he would hover, like you could even like theoretically just like flash walk away something, you know. So
So
I
you
think
think we should be playing like more aggressively here?
yeah, I think even here you step up, you know. So look
Yeah,
like
okay.
you don't match his aggressive playstyle. You see, like we play way too far back. Nami has no
Yeah.
mana, no HP, and again, like Bard goes for a good trade, but there is no follow up again. I think because I know you have cooldown on your W, but it really doesn't matter all that much, you know.
Yeah.
Even here, pressing Q feels a bit bad, but because like they are trading pretty hard, huh?
Okay.
I think you should just probably spare Q, last hit the minions, spare Q for the
Yeah.
fight. You could also, you know, be smart about your Q usage, and you don't even Q here. If she's trying to walk away, and she doesn't have minion cover anymore, you could even flash after her and Q her if it makes sense. So you could
Yeah,
be
so
even
it's like
smart. Yeah, you can even be smart about your Q usage. You just hold it, isolate it.
yeah.
I think you got a bit scared when she turned on her Q, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's not really that strong, honestly. It's not, I mean, it's strong, but it's not really that strong because your passive does almost the same thing. So you deal like 8 magic damage, she deals 10, then Yuri gives you more attack speed than her Q, you know. So it's kind of a strong ability, but you do almost the same, you know, in this short like trade span. He missed his Q a little bit. He was also hella out of mana actually, like she throwed everything at Bard, yeah. Yeah, I think she didn't even have a W or an E. She didn't have really anything on her. Okay. I will look to push, and now Bard is a bit low on HP. Oh, but she has more attack range though, so I think you're trying to like, you know what's really weird that I noticed about you? When someone is outranging you in terms of attack range, you're spacing backwards when she's looking for a basic attack, you know, if you noticed. And this wasn't really the first time you did this, so you're trying to outspace someone that has more attack range than you do, if you noticed.
Yeah.
'Cause you see
I think
like,
I'm not really.
yeah, I think you didn't know the attack range differences maybe, you
No,
know.
yeah. I thought she had the equal attack range as me, or like slightly more, so I could get away with it. But I guess not.
Because look, you see like, it's like often like you don't really. Okay. You could also probably ping for a little bit of help, but Sunara is a bit tough to be dived because she does have her barrier. I think you didn't time well your trade though, look, here. We could then avoid the tower shot entirely.
Yeah, that was kind of.
That feels so illegal that the tower hits you here, I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah, it was very.
I don't know. It felt really illegal, but okay. What the hell? So we could ping Silas, and we have sums, so we could bait with barrier and flash, but it's also fine if you recall. I wouldn't allow them to just shove. I would try to like match it a little bit, you know. But okay, because they have as many resources as we do, I think. Because we saw Mundo, right?
Yeah, wasn't he bot side? Yeah.
He was like around this area, but he's not here
Yeah.
yet, since Silas also rotates. We know worst case scenario, Bart can portal us out here, you feel me?
Yeah.
Do we look for something funny here? Maybe a Bart Q? Maybe Bart flashed honestly here, huh? Okay. Nice bait. So Bard did bait super well here, and we pick up on Ami.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just stick to like pushing the wave.
Yeah.
And we don't really care about over chasing or something. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
This guy has Oblivion, or he kinda hates this move though. It doesn't feel like we can particularly shove the whole thing, so you could just... I would then maybe recall a bit earlier, because this will just kinda like push towards them now.
Yeah.
So, do we need something special to like farm this much? So we have 800. Yeah, I would
No,
say...
I think I need 850 for the Kraken thing.
So, yeah, 850. So like at what point could we recall? 850, track the gold.
Yeah, so here.
Yeah, approximately something like this ish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, it's also like fine if this would also like, yeah, this would be a little bit better if there will be more minions alive. Okay, because now it will just slow push into them, which is a bit of a problem because Bard players tend to roam a lot and slow pushes are not the best, you know, for you.
Mm-hmm.
You see how much like CS she gets now, and you know, notably the wave state is also a little bit bad, you see, so that was like really like the problem overall.
Yeah.
Nice, I think in here your body language was pretty good, not giving off the fact that your team will just like rotate on them.
Yeah.
So I think this was like pretty good on your part. It was pretty good that you walked a little bit back just like that, and then we go in. So do we have Bard 6 soon? Not yet, and so you need a bit more, huh? She has barrier, that's all we know. Honestly, I would just like ping the Bard to threaten at least a Q or something. If anything. But honestly, you could then also look for a Q. Like, look. I think this has like 600 range or something. Ish.
It's more than my auto?
It's like a bit more, I think, your basic attack, no?
I thought it was less.
Is it less?
I thought it was less. I don't know, I could be tripping as well.
Like now you could look for a Q, I think.
Now no, I think it's out of range.
I think it's a perfect timing. Yeah, but you walk in a little bit. So this like...
Oh, okay, you mean like I walk up a bit?
Yeah, so when you saw the Bard Q, you walk in a little bit. And
yeah.
This is perfectly timed Q, because it only splits into Yunara and the minion, I think. If I'm correct.
Yeah, okay.
And the thing is, the tower is also at the time targeting already the cannon minion. So if you just like Q and walk out, it will not hit you, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the animation bugged, but I think it was shooting, right? Or?
Yeah. I think it was on cooldown.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it could retarget then, huh? Okay. She is 6 now.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so this will go wrong, but does at least force your recall.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if this Bard stacked some Ws, I think we would be in a bit of a better spot here, you know? Because he's almost like full mana, that's what bothers me. So I think if he stacked more Ws, like even if he's here, like he could place his Ws or something, right? Like, I think it was a bit of a misplay from Bard's part actually here, that he didn't set up some Ws. So even here, even if we have R, I think technically we still have to disengage from her art, that's the problem. But... yeah, Tsunami appeared very suddenly, UE away. Misses his Q pops. Yeah, he does have potion as well, right? So he does have, you see, Elixir of Force, so she's very, very strong at 6.
Yeah, I was expecting her to ult when I eat, so I just got scared and tried running away.
So she does commit. Because I feel like Bard, like he had only one W here, I think,
Yeah.
something like that. But if he did
I
set
think
up,
we should have stayed. Like if he had more Ws.
yeah, if he, you know what's good? If he W'd here when he came to lane, then he W'd once or twice, you know, when we were, you know, in the middle of the lane, we could then disengage perhaps a bit more smoothly. But I think we could still stay. We had barrier and flash, so I don't necessarily think so. You wanna recap? Oh, but you got caught again.
Yeah.
It's like another like. Because you're gonna hit 60 off one minion, so I wouldn't really recall, honestly. Mundo is also kind of shit at diving, but he's already not here because we have so much vision. I think it was a bit of a bad recall, you know?
I think I should ping my Bard to like, yo, stay. Let's,
yeah.
the tower.
Yeah, honestly, like, you shouldn't trade here, which was also pretty shit, but you know, what I believe, like, in here you could technically just last hit a minion and stay, because their dive is very shitty. Like, they have a Nami Q that doesn't hit, and you have, like, barrier and aura up and flash, so, like, could you just not solo stay here? I think you could just stay solo here, no?
I mean, I feel like she just kills me.
Does she deal that much? I mean, it does some
They
damage.
have Nami, E, and Q.
So hit like
Or
level
NR,
6, you hit level 6, you get like 100 HP from the level up. So
Yeah.
then you also have like a barrier 185, 170. Yeah, but Nami's Q will not hit if you have aura and flash, you know. So it makes me think like Nami's Q doesn't hit. Her W will possibly hit, but it will not completely tick on you, if it makes sense. So it just makes me think that you could also like play around her attack range as well a little bit, you know, if anything.
Okay.
So basically, I don't think so. That's like so difficult to maneuver out, right? Oh, interesting flash here. So what happened here? Let's see. So you missed W. Oh. They commit. So you walk in, they commit. Honestly, I think you should ban E when you see this, because then you can already set up your attack speed for the fight if it makes sense. So if you feel like you're about to war in, I think it's best if you set up your E already, no?
Okay. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So Bar didn't stun with his Q, but he did hit his R, right? So, so no, you eat, So you eat and then you R. Oh, never mind. So it was like a different situation, But then TC was a little bit bad as well, no? Because it makes me think, because you walked up, but also we didn't like, we couldn't really like do anything particular.
Yeah, I think I did just, when I eat, I like walked back a bit and I didn't want to get chunked again, like the Force to Recall.
Yeah.
So I got a bit scared.
So we pick up Nami anyways. Yeah, I think she wins the game of spacing, you know. Yunara wins the game of spacing with her range. Plus, like, you know what's something you should also check out? The mobility difference. The problem is she does have boots. She does have boots and we don't. And I think sometimes you try too hard to space something that's not really possible, if it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
So in here, like, you're trying to basic attacks, like, but you kind of don't, and then, like, we can't really trade into her, actually, that's the problem. Practically, we can trade into her lethal tempo and Q, that's the problem, you know? So even if we go in, we don't get spaced, whatever. I mean, we don't have the mobility for that, basically, so that's not even possible in this case, but even if it would be, it's bad, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think that there are some bad clicks that you take where you take like 1 or 2 extra basics, you know, something like that. Because like you can kind of like see that things were messed up in terms of spacing.
Like where I shouldn't even try to trade?
Yeah, like you don't even basic, because it's either bad to trade into her Q or she just outranges you, you know? And there isn't like a way of gap closing. It looks like it's a kill heavy game. If you feel like it's a kill heavy game where you're gonna get lots of kills, I think it's also really good if you get Dark Seal, honestly. I would say like probably after your first item. It's the best. Yeah. Yeah, because like your whole kit, I know you scale with attacks with an AD, but lots of your things scales with AP, scales with AP, scales with AP, scales with AP.
Right.
Your E doesn't scales with AP, but anything else does, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say like most practically after first item, if it's good. If people are inting kind of hard, you could get it before, because so like as a way of thinking, it could be builded even into Magi, which the mobility is like super insane on Kaisa, but uh, the damage itself, you can basically even feel it on your basic attacks after a time, because in a way it costs the same amount as a longsword, but it has like better like scaling damage potential, if it makes sense. That also like afflict your basic attack damage, if it makes sense. Because even though like you only get a dark seal, which you can upgrade into Magi, even the missing health damage does get amplified a little bit, and sometimes it just surprise kills people. I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, even Ezreal has like 3 AP ratios. Actually, his whole kit kind of scales with AP and AD, so even on champs like that, it can work.
Oh, okay, so going Dark Seal on Ezreal as well.
Yep.
If it's like kill heavy.
Yeah, like I'm building it even on tanks sometimes. Like on Malphite, I could get some games like 25 Magi stacks and I get to carry the game, so uh,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like just observing in what kind of game you are, honestly. And
Yeah, okay.
Tsunami has 3. So what do they have? So yeah, so it does seem like Yunar has no stacks, and Nami has a red but no ore, and we know that she has no flash. So, Bard, do you have ore? You don't have ore, you don't have Q either. I think sometimes you're wasting your E, honestly. Like, if you notice, sometimes you press E for fun.
Yeah, I know. It's like I feel like I want to trade, but then I back out last second. No, oh, never mind, I don't want to.
So, like, you know what's, like, weird? I think you're not, like, observing what your support is positioning for. So, I know...
No, yeah, I know.
I know in here, like, Bard missed his Q, but, there is a word where it maybe hits. So, if he's positioning for a Q, bounce into a stun, I think you should move, actually, like, honestly, because most of the times you just back off when your support is about to, like, hit something.
Yeah.
But now we go in, but now Bard walks away because he has Q cooldown, and I think now it's shit to trade, because Bard without Q, his trades are pretty bad, I think, so
Yeah.
I think just, it's almost like you guys take turns, he uses his Q, backs off, then you go in, but then you get triangulated by them, so that also kind of like sucks, actually. So I think in here, like, even going in is a bit impractical, actually. It's a bit impractical.
Yeah.
Well, it does some damage, but it's difficult to hit it here. So, again, like, be a bit cautious here, because as you can see, Bard is warding, and if you mess up a little bit your spacing, Nami will speed her up, give her a slowing basic attacks, and this is where they could heavily trade into you. So this is where I would just back off a little bit, actually, because now we are walking in a very... This is already like the scary line, or this is actually the line you shouldn't really pass,
Yeah.
Something like that, approximately.
You just soak XP, or like try to.
Yeah, but I think in here Yunara could ban E, walk up a little bit, and look for a trade. So even this is a bit of a scary positioning, in my opinion. W before she tanked it. So now we wait for Bard, right? We wait for Bard, we soak XP. So you don't have to last it, you just have to soak XP,
Yeah.
He walks out, and that's fine. So what do we do here? Nice, well played. And so we get the wave, right? Now, as much as you can see at this point, you got a shove either for a Drake fight or to dive. So Nami is dead currently, so that's what your next plan should be. Honestly, you could then also W the Drake, because it gives you like a nice bloodline stack actually. So,
Yeah, I wasted it on the minion.
yeah, I think if you have like, you know, any of the legend runes, it's really good if you W the Drake. Because you can see each progress towards legend stacks for every champion, take down epic monster, take down large monster, and minion kill. So all of them progress them at a different rate. You know, Drake's champions give more progress for this lifesteal. Always like anything like Herald, you should W everything. So what do we know if we press tab? So Yunara actually has no item, and we do have actually a whole Kraken, right?
Yeah.
But
I feel like we just don't win this, like in general. So I didn't want to fight this, I just wanted to take away.
but it's like an awkward fight, right?
Yeah, like I didn't want to fight this in general.
The engage was pretty shitty, I think that was a problem. Look at this. So he goes in, but he gets like insta-Q'd, and then we don't get any follow-up, then she gets buffed. Like her Q, if it's maxed out, does some nasty damage, as you can see. So it gets like 60% attack speed and 25% additional. Her attack spread, but I think the spread doesn't deal damage to you, right? So there's like a 37.
No,
So it's like, yeah, it's like a nice one hit she gets. She does a lot of damage at this spot, honestly. Oh, you miss your W.
Yeah, I feel like this fight just is bad in general now.
Yeah, I think Bard needs to hit Q, then we can move. If Bard misses his Q, it can get pretty shitty, because like we just can't really, like even if you are in, like we just can't really fight actually in a practical way here. Your Q splitted, it's difficult to hit your W even because of the minions if she positions correctly. So I think Bard forced too hard here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
But like, if this happens and like I think, oh, this is a bad fight, should I try to follow the call or should I just like do my own thing and farm the wave?
Because you know what sucks here? So, in particular, I know they're super behind, but the problem is your abilities are a bit weird on Kaisa, because these abilities, if they're not isolated, they don't deal a lot of damage.
Yeah.
This is a problem. If your W gets stunned by a minion, like, what could you like OR, but you couldn't really OR. Like maybe if you W the Nami. If you W the Nami, you could look for something, look. So maybe that's what you should then try to do actually, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Then
but doesn't Yunara just 1v2 us? Because she's attacking me the entire time while we're fighting the Nami. So does it just kill us both? Or at least trade in one kill?
The problem is Bard gets insta-stunned, right?
Yeah.
Because those Bard have OR, he does have OR, right? Problem is Nami has some, yeah, because Nami has OR as well, but she doesn't have Q, right? So we could technically, like, it does look like an ugly fight, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It does look like a very, like, honestly, but the problem is Bard got also, I think he missed his Q or something, no? I'm not sure, because he got in, he had his Q, right? But he got like instant bubbled.
Yeah, he didn't get to stun anyone.
Like, the only thing that would be smart if you back off and, you know, per chance, if you W her, right? You W her, then we could look for something, you know, we could kill this guy, then disengage with Bard's or if it makes sense, you know? So we don't take the damage from her at all. We walk back. Yeah, no, it sounds a bit weird. We walk back, and then we look for a W.
Yeah. Instead of just missing it on.
But you know what would be also smart? If we don't go in, and Bart hits his R on the, you know, basically Yunara, and then he could look for a Q.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So maybe this Bard, he wasn't that dumb. But I think your positioning was a bit messy, because again we got sandwich, actually, like we got kind of triangulated here. So I think if you see an opportunity, you gotta wait for like the best opportunity, if it makes sense, you know. Like in here you could, you know what's the best thing you could do? So you could stack your Kraken on the minions, if it makes sense. And then you can look, like you can kill these minions, whatnot. And then you could like commit, like look for something good. Because you could even flash the Nami or, you know, when you're in with your R.
I just trolled my flash.
Yeah, because the good thing is when you're supporting cages, with your passive it's easier to finish off people than like trying to 100-0 someone, you know, on Kai'Sa. Because at this stage of the game, you are still like support reliant, you know, to do stuff.
Yeah.
So like in here we kinda like didn't respect Lunara's like flash W. Yeah, in here we ain't gonna lie. I think you're forced to recall anyways, because you're dead in one basic, so probably two basic attacks actually. So yeah, we didn't respect her flash, you know, or whatnot, but we had to recall anyways, to be honest. So in here I don't think so there's a way you greed actually for more, even if you use your potion. Because what they have is point and click, you know, like W will always hit E, you know, like it just kills you. There's no way of avoiding that. Okay, we skip forward. So, what do we do here? We walk back to lane now. Is that the best idea? So does Gnar have teleport? His TP is not yet up. We also still have to look at objectives, you know, such as Herald that's upcoming, or basically other objectives if we need to rotate for a certain lane. But we have vision so far and Sylas hovering. It looks like the enemy Vex is also kind of like rotating on the guy, huh? We don't have R though. If anything, you could ping the R cooldowns, so Sylas is less likely to overcommit if it makes sense, because some people think you have aura, but if they are taking a bad fight, I would at least bare minimum ping my R, because they may think our R is up, you know?
Yeah, that actually happened this game, where the Sylas went in thinking he had R.
Wouldn't this tower be gone if you used your E here though? So I think you didn't use your E at all.
No. I think I wanted to save it for like if they come.
Yeah,
just run away.
and also kinda don't like that you're wiggling a little bit around, because it's better if you constantly like buffer your next basic attack actually into the tower, if it makes sense. You see?
Yeah, okay.
I would say maybe if you use your E, there's a ward where this would be at least way lower on HP, and it would be too low, I think, to the point where they give it up, no? Yeah, I would say, look, the tower has like 1000 HP.
Yeah.
I think you wiggled a little bit around, and you didn't use your E. I mean, even if it wouldn't be destroyed, it would be this low, so they will give it up, you know? That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we take a little bit of poke, but then we disengage anyways with Bard's or something, you know, or E or something, you know. Like, I don't really see a particular, like, reason, like, why they would be, like, Lunara's or is still on cooldown, right? So, sorry, it only has, like, 100 seconds cooldown. It's kind of crazy, because most of the Rs actually have more in this game, right? Like, yours is... And that means that we have to, like, respect the cooldown differences. As when it's first tower, it's the most important, you know, to get it. Because that's what's gonna help you to like finish your, you know, bot quest really quick, to finish your first, second item, right? So it's really, really good for us. And also there's like a crit build, you know, on Kai'Sa, so you can go one hit, which is fine, and you can go crit. And so crit is basically like if they are full of squishy champs, you know.
Oh, you can go crit? I've never seen anyone go crit on Minecraft.
I know usually it sounds a bit bad, but you could theoretically go crit against full squishes, where you will not weave in too many basic attacks with like hex bolts, you know.
Isn't just going like AP better then? Because you one-shot them, don't you?
Well, basically AP, full AP, there is like some AP build. There might be some AP build that also kind of like works, you know, with the new item. Or some people also go mana immune, you know, and Guinso or something. Or not Guinso. There was some build.
The new item this game.
Yeah.
I was not expecting her that originally.
Oh, she has heavy magic pen.
Yeah.
But honestly, we're kinda like half HP, honestly.
Yeah.
She had her fear up. I mean, she does miss her fear, but you use your R, which, you know, procs her passive, you see 153 already.
Yeah. That's what I wasn't expecting. I thought I could outplay it.
I mean, you have like a barrier, right? But that doesn't really... Yeah, she had... Oh, she plays also... Yeah, I didn't even know she plays Ignite. I mean, then it's even less likely we wanna go for this, She's a bit too fat. I think if you were full HP, you could try something, but otherwise it's bad. I would say full HP this works, because you can outplay her first fear, her E, but then again, like, you just can't really deal with the rest of her kit, sadly. They're kinda fighting here. Okay, so now we have no ward though. Our flash is coming soon though.
Did I just go mid here, or what do you think is the phase?
I think you just cover mid wave and hover your teammates actually. Because going bot is a bit bad, because Mordekaiser is there, he 1v1s us, you know, regardless. He's like very stat checky. So we can't really cover that lane, I know. We can't really cover that. Does not really play it does, but he doesn't have it up either. But it does look like people want to fight this very badly. So I think we could hover this area, but can we fight this citizen? Their pokes are a bit better, but they're also kind of like stronger. Honestly, does look like we give... Oh, she has Fiend Hunt. Yeah, it does look like this is a give actually. It's a very easy give. So I think you just take the bot wave. We also see the Mordekaiser wave. So Nafiri takes mid wave. He doesn't care about bot seemingly because he walked up. If you just tap, I think we could see that this is very low chance that we win this if I think about it. So I would just rather actually go bot than you, right? Like here, we shouldn't really fight. That's the problem at all. I was thinking to have to participate in this fight, but I think you're just gonna get killed after, you know, because you don't even have R. You don't even have R, so we can't even follow up. Yeah, I think you can't even follow up shit. So I think we go bot, and even when you go bot, I think you should take the gate, then ward the gate in case Mordekaiser collapses on you from behind. But I guess he's already revealed, so by the time you would gate, you would see him. And we pick up the bot wave, I would say, without fighting Mordekaiser. Then we have to like also play safely around this kid if he's trying to dive, because we don't have more. We have a barrier though, so that's something. I would just kind of like danger ping, spam danger ping my teammates when I'm going bot lane, and likely they would listen at this point. That's, I think, the best like thing we can do here. We can't really collapse some more either because of his horse. That also sucks a bit, that we can't pick him up on the side lane. But we have to just take the loss, because we're gonna lose even more if you're trying too hard to contest. Some of the bot wave is a little bit lost, right? And also I have to be careful with Vex's or, you know, so you gotta like hold your finger on your E quite often and look to E away. They are way stronger now, so I would just danger ping the fuck out of my teammates. We could look for a W poke, something, right? But I don't see this being a good fight without R. Ward is here, Gnar is topside, Gnar is playing for the tower, so even if your teammates go in, this is the type of situation where you would just die after, you know? Because we don't even have wars, so I would just say no. Like, the most practical thing would be if you just went mid and tried to take the mid tower, so there's like a trade at least for Drake, if it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like here, think we don't walk here, we just try to like siege actually, right? So we force them to split up if anything, and maybe then we could look for a pick with Bard, you know? But
Just go mid here and like shove with.
because two things gonna happen. Either they split up, right? Which means that we could find the pick with Bard's ultimate and his Q if someone rotates mid. That's good. Or if they don't rotate, then we get the free tower, you know? It's also like, that's also something that kinda like works. But it seemed like Mordekaiser appeared also out of nowhere. I think he came from the top side of the map or something, right? What side? Where did he? Top side. No, he's here, huh? He's a bit here, huh? But he was. Yeah. Oh yeah, possibly. I think you should just run mid lane and try to pick up the tower angle, don't I?
Yeah.
Because it also had like these crystals on it, so I think this would be done in no time, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you could look for a W. So can we fight her though? She has her Q stacked, but she has her raw enemies honestly. So she has Fiend Hunter. Yeah, it looks like you're dead if you fight her. Short trade is good, but I would be careful with her. Honestly, it's not even that good because she kinda does just get Nami healed.
Yeah, but like completely empty.
Oh, but this is so weird actually. She's too strong. She's too strong. Yeah, cause have you noticed that you're trying to space her when you have like less range here?
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. Yeah, because I like tried going back in and like then I completely into the flash him.
But I think even if you like try to like space people, not in this case scenario because it's not really possible, you gotta like use very optimally the S button. So when you press S, so when you click forward, like for example, like obviously close clicking can be really good, definitely. But even if you're close clicking, how far you gonna click? Like you gonna click maybe something like this, even if you're close clicking, you know, or something. It can be even closer. Like it doesn't matter, you know. You can click something like this, let's say, and someone is like here, right? Now, if you don't wanna like overstep, even by a teensy bit, you can already press S, you know, when you're walking or when you're turning back, if it makes sense. So it gives you like a slight like spacing edge, if it makes sense, which you can quite often like even spam, you know. So you don't like over click. So when you click to like basic attack someone, then you basic attack someone, you don't like over move, if it makes sense, when you're about to click them.
Yeah.
You look for something topside, I assume. Oh, it does seem like this is a weird fight, right? Or no, it works out. It doesn't work out, okay. Like we're gonna get Guiso this game. This is kinda like an anti-tank stuff, right?
Yeah.
They have like a Mundo, they have like a Ward.
Yeah. So I go Kraken, Ginzo, and then Dusk and Dawn, and then I just go AP after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, you know what's also practical? Verdant Barrier, you know. There are champions that have like fairly lots of AP and CC. I think there's a ward where you like third item Verdant Barrier, you know, from Banshee. So it kinda like gives you...
Yeah.
It kinda gives you like a spell shield, if it makes sense, which makes you quite dangerous. I think that's something that could work in some games. This game, I think they have some ways to proc it, but it helps when you are in, you know? It helps when you are in. I can't like practically say in which game it's the best, but against champs like Vex it's like super good because her fear will never hit, you know, if it makes sense. And for more, like generally it's very hard for more to hit E or, you know, Q on you if you move properly. So it's very hard for him to aura you, you know, because your spell shield, you know, so there are some games where I could kind of like see it being practical at some stage of the game at least, you know, where it's quite easy to like get it.
Yeah.
Then we just kind of walk into them and die, so I don't think so there's like a lot to say here. And
I I thought the Mundo was my teammate, so I just completely entered.
So then I think we also had like some degree of comeback, so at Queen's point you're pretty strong even though you died a few times. I would say you're not that behind. Oh, but even R has 3 items, that's like pretty scary. Pretty scary if she presses R, honestly. So that's interesting, so we're gonna go like trade towers with ward a little bit for now and what happens, so... Like we are really getting here Dusk and Dawn, so I think these 3 items that you have are gonna be pretty strong on you.
Yeah.
So we rotate back to this guy, we're trying to war him if it's even possible. He's not here. So that's fine, we move on. Oh yeah. It just makes me think that wasn't it a bit weird that you kited back from Mundo way too much here? Look.
I think so.
So I think spacing his W healing is fine, so if he hits you with his W, he heals for 100%, you know, if he doesn't, it's 50% only. So I think that could be said that was okay. But I think you walked way too far back now.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, cause like, I think you could ban also E here, like, couldn't you just E and look for something? Yeah, that's difficult. Also, like, what's like difficult is like the multitasking part of like this team fight, right? Where you have to pay attention to like different engages and pokes and whatnot. Yeah, so in here I think you kited back a bit too much. You kited back a bit too much and we missed out one basic to kill him, no?
You mean, like, where I walked back at the end there?
Yeah, like 1 or 2 basic attack we needed. Honestly. Something like that. Yeah. Because you could then also look toward this Mundo, no? Then try to flash out or something. Didn't he have like a bounty? No, he didn't have any bounty. He's just like pretty fat but no bounty.
Yeah.
So in here I think your spacing fall off, but would it really matter this fight? So this was one thing, and the other one was Vex going in, right? But you didn't space her W, right? Because her Q and D is pretty hard to hit, I would say. These are difficult to hit abilities when you have E up and R. But you walked into her W, which guaranteed her Q and D hit, you know? That's the problem. Then she gets like a burst on you. And she gets like a nice burst on you, so I would say you could well look for a basic so you can look to R or something, but you walked into her W, which has slightly shorter range than your basic attacks, I would say, but I would definitely look to space that, and or you could also like look to like R to a safer like distance, you know, from the collapsers, you know, so that's also something to consider, right? Because I think if you are properly, we space properly, this Vex would be lower on HP if it makes sense. And we could look for more, I think, here. So this fight is not that bad, right? It's not that bad. Do we pick them up though? It's not that bad, I would say. It's not that bad, it's not that bad. So we have like a nice comeback here. We got a good amount of gold, everyone kind of like dies, and there's a ward where we get out positively out of this situation. Okay, there will be like a next team fight here.
I think We just entered this team fight and we just lost for no reason.
So he goes in, he dies, and then everyone gets picked up, right?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, yeah, it does look pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Does look pretty bad, and then there would be one more fight, and I guess the game is actually like two more fights, and the game's kind of like at the end.
Yeah.
So anything that you feel like we could do better here? So we are the Nami. So Gnar is here, but he has no Mega Gnar, right? And this looks like a very weird fight, right? Because I think Nami is the best skill to go for here, if anything, right?
Yeah.
And we get caught a little bit by her. We get caught a little bit by her bubble.
Yeah. I think I shouldn't have walked back there so far. I could have helped in the Fury.
Like I think like spacing around Mundo here something. Yeah, I think you had barrier. Like maybe you should be like walk a bit back, I guess.
Yeah.
But then didn't you have E at all? You didn't have your E. Then we were in a messy spot. Maybe if you kite it here, it would be a bit harder for Mundo to like catch you, right?
Yeah. And I could play with Nafiri.
Maybe with Nafiri we could. In particular, that guy still had all, right? So.
Yeah.
So you go Nash or Tooth now? I think it's pretty bad actually to go for that over Terminus actually, no?
You think so?
Yeah, like I know you already have AP from other sources to scale it up, but you get very little amount of AP for it to matter, and so Terminus gives you resistances, which is quite important now, mixed resistances, and armor and magic pen, which are both important because you deal physical, magical damage, and you get Nashor Tooth, but truth to be told, if you check, they have armor, they have a more, they have armor, a more, and it's a late game as well. So when you're in the late game, people naturally, you know, just with levels, they have a high amount of armor and a more in the late stage of the game. So even if you don't look at like, you know, items, we can still like figure that we need that actually. That's the most like practical thing you can do.
Yeah.
The good thing about Terminus is it stacks up, you know, and even if you dive in the backline, you keep the stacks, you know, so it doesn't stacks on a champion like Black Cleaver does, you know.
Oh, okay.
It's like more likely you have it, you know. Yeah, at this stage it looks pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just over from here.
Does look like they just like kinda like hit the Nexus and things done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you have any questions if I forgot to mention something?
Like, I just wanna know, like, from the game you just watched, is there like one absolute thing that you think I should like improve on?
So I think laning phase is quite messy because when your support ability is on cooldown like Bard's Q, you remember now and then you went in for no reason and then you got triangulated, so that kinda like sucked. Sometimes Bard positioned for a Q, even if he's not in basic attack range, his Q does outrange his basic range. So if he positions for a Q, you should also try to walk up if it makes sense. A step up for it. You got to be a bit more cautious with your ultimates on like when do you use them, so you more likely gonna secure a kill. So your laning phase was a bit messy. You got to learn the attack ranges of the opponent's champion before you try to basic attack space them. If you
Yeah.
remember, there were some bad clicks that you went for, which just led into like basically 8 more basic attacks, and they got a more successful trade-off.
Yeah.
Notably, respecting level 2 is very important as well, and just backing off. Um, some other things that kind of like fall off is that I would say like what else? Like I think some one time we kind of like didn't W the Drake if I remember correctly, but there
Yeah.
were some other like things in particular like so like what else like your trades. I think there are some situations where you could then hold your Q if you're trying to chase down someone instead of using it when they split into the minions if it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Um, Now what else kind of like went wrong? Like it was like this forced fight. So Bard went in. I would say the engage maybe wasn't that bad if he hits his R, you know. Um, and then that's where you should then commit, you know. So timing your so sometimes you only go in when you are in, you know. So you can't walk
Yeah.
in. You just are in if it makes sense, you know. Because if you
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
in, you kind of die actually, you know.
Mm.
So if there is a good setup, you can say I want to R in. We can fight. If you don't have a good setup and you try to walk through some things that's not even possible, we're just gonna actually like get chunked and die. So that's what you should then kind of like avoid a little bit. Um, Aside of that, I in particular think that this game wasn't like that bad. Like what I would say, like your like Nashor's was like a very bad idea to build 100%. Um,
Yeah.
so it was
Do you
like
think do you think like Nashers is always bad? Like I should go Terminus over Nashers all the time? Or
does look like there are just better items this season. Actually, in terms of one hit, of a non-hit item, Nashor Tooth seems bad on Kai'Sa because you don't build that much AP to justify it. You know, Kiel does. Kiel might be the only champion that can use Nashor Tooth honestly
okay.
efficiently. Like what Nashor Tooth does is that I think it just more easily like provides you your W upgrade if anything, you know, but
Yeah.
it's still not gonna be the most practical like item on Kai'Sa.
Mm.
Like as a late
So
game
yeah,
item,
okay.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't really see it being that good. You know, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Uh, but you could also
Alright.
like play like a nice mage as well now and then. You know, where you feel like if picking an ADC feels bad, you could also just go like Ziggs. You know, for example, and that's like pretty good in some games. You know.
Yeah. So like I think mostly my trading in lane, right? Like
Yeah,
I need to get better at that.
trading.
Or like just laning.
Yes, so trading was very messy, right? So lane
Yeah.
trading is quite important to get ahead and utilize your lead. I think this game might same thing maybe happened. I think you didn't know Ash's basic attack range, then you maybe tried to space her or something, you know? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
no, I was kind of tilted because I literally always ban Braum, and I decided to ban Caitlyn for one game, and they picked Braum, so I was
Yeah,
I don't know, I just can't play against Braum. It's really difficult for me.
yeah, it's hard for guys not to mess with Brown. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
difficult, because games like this, you know, you could pick something else, because if you look at the enemy team, they have a Brownie, they have a Yasuo W, so it's like difficult to play Kais actually, right? Because you can dive in,
Yeah.
and even if you do, you kind of die, and front to backing is also a bit hard, you see, so it's a bit difficult to Kaisa it, you know.
Yeah. Like I think I first picked it. Do you think like first picking Kai'Sa is fine?
If you have a diving comp, you could justify it, you know, but otherwise, I think she suffers from some bad matchups after she got some nerfs. Like what she sucks into if she can just like prepare it all in, because the support doesn't provide like an easy all in potential.
Yeah.
She's not good at poking in general. Like she has some poking abilities, but she's not actually that good at it.
Yeah.
So, in particular, if she gets outpoked, that could suck a bit because her mobility is very limited to her having like a bit of movement speed from her E.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, and she's also outranged by many things, right? So in that case scenario, either if they have something that stomps you in terms of CC, or B scenario, they have like two poking champs and your support doesn't provide an engage, then it can kind of like suck, right? Even if you
Yeah.
have like an enchanter but can't like build properly or heal properly, then it can suck. So I would say those games it's questionable if you wanna pick Kai'Sa, you know.
Yeah. Do you know any ADCs that are like okay, I can first pick this guaranteed and I'll like be safe?
Like so usually like mages like Mel, Ziggs are pretty fine, with the ADC role that most of the times never really go wrong. I would say Aurora, not Aurora, how is it called? Yunara actually. So
You
Yunara
know,
is like,
yeah.
because like she's pretty strong at scaling. I think mostly like Ezreal can be fine. The only thing sucks, if you don't get ahead because this champion needs to get ahead. So it's quite a safe pick, I would say. So
Yeah.
Ezreal, if anything, can kind of like work. You have some safety to play around. Then what else? I would say Caitlyn sometimes does also work because her scaling is not that bad, if anything. Then she does have some degree of safety in her kit. Um,
Okay.
but I would avoid champs like Draven or Kai'Sa to first pick. Smolder is also really bad as a first pick. Does seem like generally a bad champion now. That's the thing. Um,
Smolder?
yeah,
Yeah.
because these champs are a bit risky to pick in the first rotation. Because Draven, if he doesn't go Sam, he's useless. That's one of the problems about him.
Yeah.
Uh, and you can see like I think he just made a like spam Kai'Sa on the rank.
Yeah.
But you can see like I think if you get like a nice secondary pick that can deal with basically like Kai'Sa counters that can also kind of like work for you. Like this game, I would assume Ziggs is not that bad of a pick, because they got some wind walls, this and that. Yeah, like something like that. Because if you look around, they have an Ash Braum, right? So Braum C does peel a little bit, but he can only use it once in a while. And
Yeah.
I would say like if your support is a bit better at dealing with their engage with karma shouldn't be that bad. We can like poke into on the bot side, right? Like maybe if you had like something that kills the Braum engage or the Ashor, but
Yeah.
um, I think games like this where it's kind of impossible to basic attack. Like if
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
as you see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
How did you do?
Well,
Oh yeah.
sorry, what did you say?
I just wanted to ask you how did you think this session went?
No, I think it's really good because I've been like struggling on knowing what I should like improve on. So I'm like really glad that I got to like or the
Like
you
Mel
know that
would
you
be
got to go
insane this game actually, because look, you reflect Ashizar, Braumsor,
well.
Ornor.
Oh yeah,
It's
true.
so insane this spec actually. Like anything that engages into you, you could reflect it. And
Yeah.
most of the times you will not be hit obviously by every single round. So it's like pretty
Yeah.
good actually for you.
You think I could first pick it? Like
You could
just
first pick it because Mel is still pretty strong before her changes. After, I'm not sure how strong she will be.
yeah.
After, I'm not 100%, but mages are really good in this ADC role
Yeah.
because they get extra burst amount, like they get extra gold, and their items
Yeah.
are cheaper. So that's why like they are very strong.
Yeah. Swain's good as well, right? So I like Swain.
Swain can kind of like work. The only problem about Swain is that he's a bit of a stat checker champion. And one of the things sucks if he ors and if he gets kited out like Perma kited
Yeah.
out somehow, that sucks. So against champs like Karma Ezreal, he will suck. Or anything else that kites his aura out. Um, but I like Swain. I like Swain top. Swain ADC can kind of like work. Um, I would say like if you face something that's not the best at disengaging from your own, the type of like
Yeah.
comp, because you can poke, you can trade, but beyond level 6, like what do you do, that also matters a lot.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Alright, then
Well, yeah.
I would say
I think
that's
I'm
it for
home.
now. Have a nice day, Cat.
Yeah. You too. Thank you for so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. See you.